Hey, welcome to Trap Souls. I am Ryan. I'm with my brother
Hello, I'm Derrick.
Derrick. We're at Bihl Manor, just wrapping it up for the night. I don't even know what time it is, 3-ish, somewhere around there. Interesting night. We're just going to talk about some of our experiences, videos. Everything else will be on YouTube. We had some Facebook Live. If you want to check those out, it's up to you guys. Again, YouTube, Trap Souls, follow us. Facebook, follow us. TikTok, it's Trap Souls _NSS. Follow us there if you want to. Whatever. So, Bihl Manor. I was going to come do this a solo just because I wanted to get away a little bit after my outage from work, and I decided to invite my brother because people said I was stupid to do a solo. So, and Derrick always wanted to do an investigation, and not a bucket list thing, but figured, I'm his brother, so I gotta be semi cool, and he wanted to do an investigation with me. So this is how we ended up here. Figured hang out with my brother for a few hours, get an investigation in. Was not expecting much Bihl Manor. I've seen some videos on it. Nothing really happened. I did not do any research before I got here. We did not do a walkthrough with the owner because I like going in blind, just kind of see what I can get out of it, then go back and do research after we review evidence. Then if we get something cool, we'll come back and redo it and ask more questions. So for your first investigation, Derrick, how'd it go?
I think it went well. I really didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. When you told me that you go in blind, I was, I think, a little more nervous. But I have to be honest, what I thought was going to happen versus what actually happened were kind of, I think, two different things.
What'd you think was going to happen? Because I didn't talk to you before about your thoughts about doing this.
I thought that it was a lot of walking around a home, seeing things like you see on those television shows, and just very active, very active. But I don't know, I really enjoyed this. I have to say, it kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. I was scared towards the end, but yeah, you taught me a lot. You taught me about equipment. You taught me how to kind of work the rooms and feel the rooms and vibes and our walkthrough. But like I said, I was scared, not knowing anything about Beale House, about Fremont, Ohio. So yeah, it was interesting.
It was. I mean, it's. I said, we didn't get a walkthrough through the owner, but before we really did anything, we just walked through the house. I tell you, Bihl Manor is a maze. Like, there's so many turns, nook, crannies, rooms. You didn't know there was rooms there. So we did a walkthrough. Derrick got a couple feelings in a certain rooms. I got some feelings in certain rooms. Nothing really overwhelming, but like, it's a little off in here. And I think we were right about those.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, basement went down, did something down there. Didn't feel anything when we went down there. Derrick had a little something going back up the steps. He felt a little something on the first two steps, but the investigation down there did Estes method, not really much. Couple REM pod or EMF hits. Attic.
That's where I felt, I think, the most. Maybe it's just because it's a basement, but I think that's where I felt the most scared, was in the basement during some of the stuff you were doing. Just some of the words and just some of like the feels that I was getting.
Well, plus it was the first time, like, I was there, but I wasn't there. I was blindfolded and everything, so you're kind of alone.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks.
A little more vulnerable with a door to your back.
Yeah.
It's weird, but no, I mean, attic. Did the ghost box up there. Got some interesting stuff, but never really felt uncomfortable up there. Definitely something up there, but I think they're nice. Could be wrong for the next people that come, so don't take my word for it.
It was very like conversational,
Yeah.
but we couldn't piece together the conversation.
You got a couple names we'll have to look into once we get home. First floor, really nothing. I mean, I took some pictures. We'll see once I go through all those. But really no feelings down here. If there is, it's calm. When we did our walkthrough, second floor, a couple of the rooms fell off. So we did those. That's where we start off at. Good. A little bit. I mean, we start off in the crib room, sorry, and put the EMF, detector on the rocking horse, and actually got a lot of hits off that for first out.
That was like the exciting part, I think, where I was like, oh, again, I was thinking the rocking horse was going to rock, the crib was going to shake, like we played a record player. And
we're not Ghost Adventures, man.
I know, but I just figured it was like those things are going to happen. Like in my head, I'm like, this is, and then I'm going to be scared completely shitless because that's the first room that we're actually doing. Like, but yeah, it was a good leeway into the rest of the night.
Yeah, I mean, after that, we went to the room next door, and we had some stuff happening there.
It all went downhill after that.
I mean, nothing.
Downhill in a good way.
Yeah, nothing really scary, but we had some good stuff that happened. You guys had to watch the video. I don't remember everything that happened. Then we did the attic, came back down.
With your box.
All spirit box.
Spirit box.
Yeah.
Spoke.
Yeah.
I think the question was, who am I here with?
Oh, I said my brother.
And the spirit box said brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was time to go.
So, but we had a couple stuff come over spirit box during that little session. I said we hit the attic, not much. Some stuff. Hit the basement, some stuff. Then we decided to finish up on a second floor. We were just going to do an Estes method in those two rooms, and we forgot about the other two rooms, and they let us know that we forgot. So,
oh, yeah, they did.
So the doll room, I don't know if that's what they call it. That's what we called it. Put the REM pod on the fireplace next to the dolls. Intelligent. Well, first what happened is you put the cat ball down on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
It went dark. Then we sat down. Then the cat ball starts going off, like someone sat on the bed. No reason. Then the REM pod started going off, and we asked it to back off. It'd back off. Then we'd say a whole bunch more questions, and it'd answer. Tell it to back off, and back off. It was cool.
It was all questions about the dolls.
Dolls are sitting on the bed, or
yeah,
shadow figures. Obviously nothing on tape on there, but saw some shadow figures in the hallway while we were in there. One actually blocked out my view. I was a little confused about it, but they're shadow figures. As I said, never scared of shadow figures. Peter Pan always tries to find his shadow, so it can't be that bad. Then we went to the twin bedroom,
yeah.
the mural room. That was interesting. A lot of hits on that, and EMF rope.
A lot of hits.
Then we ended doing an Estes. Derrick was crib room. I was whatever the other room is. We put a cat ball in the doll room on the bed. And REM pod by the stairs. We had cat balls everywhere, REM pod. The rope was behind me on the bed when I was doing Estes. And it's a very uneasy feeling when you're in a chair and nothing's behind you besides open space in bed. So, but I mean, that was interesting. We videotaped all that, so you have to check that out. The heater. That was the heater, hopefully. Not someone walking down the steps. Not just joking, it was the heater. I just heard it kick off. But a lot of Derrick can explain more because I was blindfolded the whole time.
There
But
was, before I can even ask question, Ryan yelled warning. And that just set the tone for that whole experience of panic. Like, I did not feel comfortable throughout that whole last experience just because there was so much going on. There was so much words coming from you. There was so much activity behind you with the light, the rope, the cat ball in the doll room constantly. I kept hearing noises in the crib room. Like, that was
a little more intense.
that was more intense, and that intense is what I thought the whole experience was going to be. I'm glad it wasn't, but I'm also glad that I got to experience that last intense moment. I was feeling things on my neck towards the end. I said a lot of choice words during the video, so I do apologize. I felt like my back was against the wall in every wrong way, no matter where I turned.
Well, I mean, you were like filming me in the doorway, which the rope was behind me. That was going off. But right behind you, that's a doll room.
Yeah,
And that was going off.
that was going off. Then I'm hearing
And to the right of you was the crib room.
creaks in the room, and then
So you're surrounded.
yeah, I was just surrounded. And then you'll see it in the video talking about a window, and I'm trying to ask questions, and I'm in full panic mode because there's just windows throughout this whole house, and I was scared that someone was looking.
Second floor window.
Yeah,
I mean, it's good that you get to experience it. But
yeah. I mean, again, it was a great experience. It was very intense. It was not. I'm glad that I did something like this with you.
Yeah. I mean, there's one point when I was doing Estes, I really thought, because I couldn't hear you, I really thought I was going to take my blindfold off and you were just going to be gone.
Oh, there was a moment where I was going to run. Well, because the person told you
To run.
to run. So I was like, all right, bye, because it's time to go. I got to wrap this up. Like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, with everything that happened in the other two rooms, I was like, maybe it's not a good idea to do this, but, we said we were going to do it, so we did it. And it's going to be a lead up to my big trip, because I'm doing Bel Air basement solo blindfolded. And that's, it's going to be scary, but I'll do it, whatever. During Estes, I felt like I don't know if it was scratched, but I started feeling burning on my neck. I dared check it out. Nothing was there. So I've never been scratched. So still
you've
good to go. 35.
in that room. I think you felt both times, right? Someone touched your.
My hat was the basement, I think.
Yeah, but then there was another. I think the first time we were in there,
Yeah.
you said something, or you felt something next to you,
Yes.
and then somebody was pulling my bracelet.
Something kept like pinching my elbow. It could have been kids playing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go over all the recordings and find out what we have. But again, Bihl Manor, it didn't disappoint. Actually, a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be mellow. There's only been a few places I've gone to where I've gotten no activity whatsoever. Fairfield County Infirmary is one of them. For some odd reason, the men don't get really anything there, but the females do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a poorhouse. I had a friend go there do a flashlight tour a couple months ago, and he's like, him and his son went. He's like, we didn't get anything. I'm like, yeah, the same thing the females did. He's like, I was just about to say that. All the females had something there.
Huh.
So again, that's why we have different people in different groups. In my group, because you never know what's going to act. That's why we have a lot of tools, because you don't know what they're going to interact with.
I was trying to figure out, like, during this process, like when I started to sit on the floor, is like, he said this house used to be an orphanage. When we sat on when I sat on the floor in the crib room with the toys, it's like, when you're with kids, what do you typically do? Sit on the floor.
Yeah.
So I was like trying to get them comfortable. Like, I'm okay. Like, granted, I don't like children that often, but I guess dead or alive or spirits, I guess I'm not a fan of them either. But I try to get that comfortability. Like, I felt like when we were in the twin bedroom, sit on the floor, because these could be like teenagers, and still you want to get them comfortable. And that activity was...
I think about when we started, like, and I said it, like, it felt like we'd go in a room, something would happen, and nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
It's kind of like every room we went into, that spirit was like, I'm out.
Yeah. I'm gonna do one thing, maybe two, and then I'm gonna go elsewhere.
Then 5 hours later, they got more comfortable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was cool. Again, come check out Bihl Manor if you guys ever get a chance. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
sure I'm going to come back for sure sometime to do it. And, Derrick's also probably may want to hit another spot, but
Yeah,
maybe there's
definitely.
something
I
out
would
in
like to-
Indianapolis that we can head to and do something. And again, I love hitting places. I don't know, this is my 35th or 40th place I've been to total. So cool. I'm glad you can join us. Join me. I didn't invite the rest of the team because it's supposed to be solo, but they'll get over it, I guess. Again, thanks for coming out. Hopefully you learned some stuff. Got to use some equipment. And
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't a bucket list, but it was something that I've always been intrigued by, and we talked prior to this of some encounters that I've had personally, and I don't know, this was a lot different. It was a great experience.
yeah,
Something that definitely I'll remember forever, and I probably will want to continue doing stuff whenever you want to have me back on Trap Souls.
I'll take Michelle
I doubt that Michelle would do this, but yeah.
or KJ.
Yeah,
No, it'll be fun. I mean, where's KJ at now?
Florida.
Florida.
But yeah, I think it's
It's good to do once. I mean,
yeah,
it's
it definitely is.
people have experiences when they're kids, and I found that out about my wife, that her and Beth had experience when they were younger. Beth went to more my side of like, I want to figure it out, and my wife went, I want nothing to do
Right.
with this. So it goes either way. I mean, am I out here to solve what's in the afterlife? No, but it's interesting enough for me to continue doing, get some answers.
Well, it's like for me, this was very educational, because now it's like, now I want to go back and kind of get the history of the Bihl house
Yeah.
and just kind of see, like, any newspaper articles, any maybe obituaries or anything like that, to see, like, because like you said, that we got 4 or 5 names,
Yeah.
and like to see if those names match anything that has kind of been through the history of this home.
And that's why I like going in blind, not knowing names and all that stuff, is going back after getting those names and trying to piece it together. And every now and then, obituaries are terrible to go through, especially when you're talking like 1800s.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of thousands of obituaries in this area. I don't know about this area, but the previous ones I've done, it's very hard to find something that correlates them. Hopefully we can find something about this house that ties those names easier.
Yeah.
So, but through the research, it always comes interesting. Then we'll come back, take that research, and put it into our next investigation. And
How often, like you do this today, when will you come back? Like the time period? Is there a length of time?
no, there won't be a time. I mean, let's be honest, these spirits probably died during 1900s, so they'll be here for a while. So,
Yeah.
schedule wise, definitely want to hit this again. Maybe later this year, I'll bring the team back here and we'll hit it up. I mean, it's big enough spot, big enough house where I can have 4 or 5 people.
Branch off.
Yeah, branch off and see what we get. But I mean, yeah, definitely like to have some more of the team come back. And
Do you think maybe with the items that were brought in by,
I don't think anything from Bobby Mackey's has affected any of this.
do you think that it's, because the vibe that I got down in the basement when I said I felt the most kind of uncomfortable and kind of scared is when there was a moment, I don't know the actual question, but it was something to do with like, do you not want Carl here? And I believe like the lights flickered or something like that, but I felt like maybe they didn't want that stuff in their house.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but yeah, so the owner bought some stuff off Bob Mackey's during the auction. There's 2 tables up here. And Carl, the caretaker, he actually got his door. He has the blind and Carl's chair, I believe, down in the basement. And like Derrick made a lot of sense with it. I don't think Carl's here. I don't think he's attached to anything. Like, if anything, it'd be his chair. But I didn't feel anything when I was sitting in it doing Estes. But Derrick hit it like a lot of people go down there and want to know about Carl because he's famous, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's that entity down there saying, hey, I'm here too. Like, quit talking about Carl. Who cares about Carl? Like,
Yeah.
it's me. Like, talk to me. So,
I was here first.
Yeah, I was here first. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think anything from Bobby Mackey's is here. So, but cool stuff. I mean, the tables. I don't think anything's gonna be attached to the table. It's possible, but not those tables.
And I think that just goes like I was here first, playing off that is, I think this experience was, I think we might have had a few times of like get out,
Yeah, there wasn't many though.
but it wasn't many, but but I don't think it was done in like a negative,
Like, just I'm done.
yeah,
No.
like,
But
so,
yeah.
but again, we're walking into their home.
Yeah, and there's a lot of spirits here, so
Yeah.
you're gonna find that 1 or 2. Like, get out of here. Like, I don't want you here.
I always remember seeing television, movies, hearing stories, radio, all that stuff of like the temperature drop when something enters the room or comes near you or you enter the room. And I believe today I experienced that.
Yeah, there's some temperature changes.
There was some massive temperature, like 10-degree difference, like instantly in the last Estes that you did. Ryan just yelled out the word cold, or it's getting cold or something like that. You'll watch the video, but literally not even 2 seconds before, the temperature dropped, and then something with the door open, where I thought in my head I instantly went down, like the downstairs door is open, like both doors. Like I went into kind of a panic mode because it got so cold,
Yeah.
so fast. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Again, that last part was probably obviously the peak of the.
It was a good way to end it.
Yeah, it was a good way. It was good. Again, it was. My journal will have lots of entries.
Yeah, again, I mean, check everything out on YouTube. Videos will be up there sometime in the next couple weeks after this podcast goes out. But yeah, check out YouTube, subscribe to my channel. You'll see all the videos that we took tonight. There's a lot. We took a lot of video, a lot of recordings. It's going to take a little bit to get through everything, but that's what they'll be on. And if I get anything crazy, I will have Derrick on probably phone podcast
Yeah, definitely.
and go over some evidence. There's nothing. There's nothing. But again, Bill Manor did not disappoint. Follow us, YouTube, Facebook. Appreciate it.
Trap souls.
Trap Souls. Out.
Have a good day.